Aurora's capabilities have redefined the U.S.'s hypersonic edge. Once set by the legendary SR-71 Blackbird, the benchmark of speed now points to the elusive SR-91 Aurora. Rumored to be a next-generation reconnaissance and strike platform capable of Mach-5 and beyond, it signals America's drive for uncontested air dominance amid rising global competition. But could the Aurora itself be a calculated distraction, masking an even more advanced program the United States is quietly developing? And if the Aurora is real, can it outpace rival systems racing to the same goal? Join us as we examine America's rapid progress in hypersonic technology. For decades, rumors about the mysterious aircraft, Aurora, have fueled one of aviation's most enduring legends, a tale that sits at the crossroads of fact, rumor, and Cold War secrecy. Supposedly envisioned as the successor to the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, itself the fastest air-breathing aircraft ever to take to the skies, the Aurora was said to push the very limits of aerospace engineering. The SR-71, with its razor-sharp silhouette and unmatched record, could sprint across the sky at a blistering Mach 3.5, which translates to more than 2,700 miles per hour. It was equipped with the most advanced sensors, radar, and cameras for its spy missions. It flew very fast and very high, allowing it to avoid threats. If a missile were detected, it would simply speed up to escape. Yet even as this remarkable aircraft retired into history, speculation grew that a new machine had quietly taken its place. A machine far faster, far higher, and wrapped in deeper secrecy. Known by some as the SR-91, the Aurora was rumored to achieve a staggering Mach-5, leaping into a realm once reserved for experimental spaceplanes. The key, according to aviation circles, was the adoption of revolutionary propulsion technologies such as pulse detonation engines and scramjets, systems that could gulp down air at impossible speeds and turn the sky itself into raw fuel. Such engines would allow the aircraft to skim the edge of space, soaring at altitudes where no enemy fighter could climb and where even the most advanced surface-to-air missiles would be rendered useless. If true, this meant the Aurora could spy, strike, or vanish at will, rewriting the rulebook of modern reconnaissance. But such extraordinary performance came with extraordinary cost, and rumors swirled that the program's price tag had ballooned past $2 billion by the late 1980s, a figure that only reinforced suspicions about a black project hidden deep within the Pentagon's shadowy budgets. The when of Aurora's story became as fascinating as the what. In March 1990, Aviation Week in Space Technology dropped a bombshell, reporting that the name Aurora had accidentally surfaced in a 1985 U.S. defense budget line item, a cryptic $455 million allocation for black aircraft production in fiscal year 1987. From there, rumor intelligence, RUMINT, as insiders like to call it, took flight, spreading faster than any official denial could contain. Eyewitnesses added fuel to the fire, especially in Nevada, home to Nellis Air Force Base, Creech Air Force Base, and the ever-mysterious Area 51. Locals claimed to spot a strange aircraft streaking over the Mojave Desert at dawn, carving contrails that looked like donuts on a rope, a bizarre formation no known jet could produce. Others swore they heard an engine sound unlike anything before. They described it vividly as the sky itself tearing apart. In August 1989, Chris Gibson, a veteran of the Royal Observer Corps and an authority in aircraft recognition, spotted a triangular aircraft being refueled midair by a tanker and flanked by two unidentified U.S. fighters while stationed on an oil rig in the North Sea. He later admitted there was no precedent for what he had seen and that the sight felt like something he was never meant to witness. Further sightings over Britain in 1993 were later dismissed as a Russian rocket re-entry, but the legend refused to die. Even into the 2000s, official reports hinted at U.S. Air Force plans for hypersonic craft capable of Mach 4 to 6, echoing Aurora's whispered specifications. As the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding, but when it comes to the Aurora, no one has ever been served so much as a spoonful. For all the decades of speculation, not a shred of concrete evidence has ever emerged to confirm that the SR-91 spy plane truly existed. Mark Piscopas of the National Interest summed up the riddle bluntly, noting that no solid proof supports the existence of an SR-91 prototype, and that it remains uncertain whether the aircraft ever even existed beyond rumor and imagination. According to his analysis, the government has consistently denied that such a project was ever built, and to date, no hard evidence has surfaced of a prototype ever taking flight. Instead, the Aurora saga seems to be a phenomenon fueled as much by cultural fascination as by technical possibility, a story kept alive by a hunger for Cold War-era secrets and a public appetite for legends of aircraft that could do the impossible. Over time, these rumors have often intersected with other theories about hidden military projects, UFO encounters, and extraterrestrial technology, weaving the Aurora into the larger tapestry of speculative aerospace myths that captivate enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Yet even if the Aurora never materialized, its legend has arguably paved the way for discussions about what comes next. The attention once lavished on the SR-91 has since shifted to another proposed successor to the iconic SR-71 Blackbird, the Lockheed SR-72, nicknamed the Son of Blackbird. Unlike its predecessor, which relied on a cockpit crew with nerves of steel, the SR-72 is designed to be reusable, operating autonomously at hypersonic speeds. Stretching over 100 feet in length, its silhouette will recall the sleek lines of the Blackbird. As other nations were developing anti-satellite weapons, area denial technologies, and fast intercepting jets, the U.S. recognized the urgent need for a new spy plane. This new aircraft had to be exceptionally fast, enabling it to enter protected airspace, conduct observations, capture images, and even potentially strike a target long before adversaries could detect or intercept it. These capabilities were beyond the reach of fifth-generation fighter jets or any known space programs. The SR-72 solves this problem. This top-secret project has been in development since 2007. However, engineers at Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works had likely initiated research and development many years prior. Notably, NASA has invested $1 billion in developing the SR-72, potentially contributing groundbreaking technologies that could further elevate its capabilities. As a result of these advancements, the Son of Blackbird is expected to come with a price tag of around $1 billion. Since it has a projected top speed of Mach-6, which is more than 2 times the speed of the Blackbird, it can also reach this remarkable speed while flying at an altitude of 80,000 feet, equivalent to 3 times the height of Mount Everest. This implied that this aircraft could traverse the globe in just a single hour. The extraordinary velocity of the Son of Blackbird is made possible by a combined-cycle turbofan scramjet engine, a technology in which Lockheed Martin has accumulated 3 decades of experience. Unlike the Aurora, this project has been openly teased by Lockheed Martin and reported on in official contexts, though it too is wrapped in its own cloak of secrecy. The SR-72 is expected to use cutting-edge propulsion systems that blend turbine engines with scramjets, an aircraft that must accelerate smoothly from takeoff to hypersonic velocity cannot rely on conventional engines alone. Engineers have turned to a turbine-based combined cycle system, or TBCC. It is a marriage of 2 distinct technologies, the traditional turbofan engine and the supersonic combustion ramjet, more commonly called the scramjet. This engine is designed to transition seamlessly from subsonic to supersonic and then into hypersonic flight. The turbofan would carry the aircraft from the runway through subsonic and into transonic speeds, at which point the scramjet would ignite, devouring supersonic airflow and propelling the vehicle deep into the hypersonic regime above Mach-5. This dual-mode system is not simply clever engineering, it is a necessity. No single engine design can efficiently cover the entire flight spectrum from takeoff to hypersonic cruise. And the TBCC represents a solution that transforms theory into a practical possibility. Such a leap sounds straightforward in theory, but in practice it demands near-miraculous precision. The airflow must be managed, compressed, and ignited in fractions of a second, while the engines endure pressures and heat that would destroy ordinary systems. Alongside propulsion lies the monumental challenge of thermal management. At speeds exceeding Mach 6, The aircraft's skin would be scorched by temperatures hotter than a blast furnace, requiring materials and cooling systems that defy conventional design. Every bolt, panel, and rivet must withstand conditions more brutal than re-entry from orbit, a feat that illustrates the razor's edge on which this program balances. Financially, the task is no less daunting. Advancing from experimental concepts to a true operational aircraft requires billions in investment, and the partnership between government and industry must remain ironclad if this vision is to become reality. While the alignment with U.S. Air Force goals for hypersonic capability adds urgency and direction, the SR-72's fate ultimately rests on whether the resources and political will can keep pace with its engineering ambition. Should it succeed, the result will not merely be another reconnaissance aircraft, but a transformative weapon of strategy, an aircraft able to gather intelligence or deliver strikes before an enemy can even respond, rewriting the doctrine of air warfare. Yet beyond its technical marvels, its very existence could alter global military dynamics. Rival powers aware of its potential may accelerate their own hypersonic programs, sparking a new race where minutes and miles per second become the currency of power. If realized, such performance would make the SR-72 not merely faster than the Blackbird, but a revolutionary leap forward in reconnaissance and strike capability, operating in a realm where time and distance become almost meaningless. Its purpose is clear: to deliver vital surveillance in environments where conventional manned aircraft would face overwhelming risk, slipping through advanced air defense networks at such velocity and altitude that interception would be virtually impossible. Time-sensitive intelligence, the kind that could alter the course of a battlefield or expose hostile actions in progress, would be delivered in minutes rather than hours, giving decision-makers unprecedented situational awareness. Such a capability would mark a revolution in aerial warfare and intelligence gathering. While satellites provide unmatched global coverage, they are predictable in orbit and vulnerable to anti-satellite weapons. Drones and manned aircraft can be agile, but they are increasingly threatened by dense layers of radar, surface-to-air missiles, and interceptors. The SR-72, however, would soar beyond these constraints, offering on-demand access to hostile territory with a speed that compresses distance and a survivability profile that no adversary can match. For the Skunk Works engineers, the goal is nothing less than redefining strategic reconnaissance for the 21st century, providing the United States with an aircraft that ensures no threat remains unseen, no matter how well defended. Whether or not the Aurora spy plane ever truly existed, the SR-72, son of Blackbird, stands as the tangible answer to decades of whispered speculation. If this aircraft takes to the skies, it will not simply continue the Blackbird's legacy, it will ignite a new era of hypersonic dominance. At its projected performance, this hypersonic jet could cross from the continental United States to Europe or Asia in roughly 1.5 hours, a feat that would have been unimaginable during the Cold War. Such blistering mobility would allow commanders to see, decide, and act with unprecedented speed, turning intelligence gathering and strike missions into near-instant responses. In an era when seconds can define victory or defeat, the ability to deliver eyes or weapons anywhere in the world in under 2 hours represents not just an advantage, but a revolution. Yet the dream of the SR-72 is tethered by formidable obstacles. Hypersonic flight is one of the most complex challenges in aerospace, demanding breakthroughs in propulsion, thermal management, and advanced materials. Sustaining speeds above Mach-5 generates heat levels that can melt conventional alloys, demanding innovations that can withstand and disperse unimaginable thermal stress. The turbine-based combined cycle propulsion, which blends turbofan and scramjet engines, is a marvel on paper, but building it into a reliable, reusable system is a task that will push the limits of engineering. Financial challenges also loom large. While preliminary discussions have taken place between Lockheed Martin and U.S. government stakeholders, full-scale funding for demonstrator aircraft and engine prototypes has yet to be secured. The price of developing such cutting-edge technology will inevitably run into billions. And in a defense budget where priorities compete fiercely, the SR-72 must continually justify its strategic value. Even so, the jet's pathway mirrors the U.S. Air Force's larger hypersonic roadmap, which places hypersonic strike and reconnaissance at the center of 21st century warfare. Tentative plans envision the SR-72 entering service around the year 2030. But that date depends on solving the technical and budgetary riddles that stand in the way. The urgency is clear. Advanced integrated air defense systems, such as Russia's S-500 or China's HQ-19, grow more capable each year, threatening to deny U.S. forces access to contested airspace. Traditional aircraft, no matter how stealthy, remain vulnerable when exposed too long to these lethal networks. The SR-72's greatest defense would be its speed, which minimizes the window of detection and interception. By compressing time on target to mere minutes, the aircraft would not just dodge defenses, it would render them obsolete. Yet even as concepts like the SR-72 push boundaries, America's gaze is fixed on the next leap forward. That vision now takes shape at DARPA under the Next Generation Responsive Strike Program, or NEXT-RS. Unlike the stealth bombers that have defined American air power since the 1970s, NEXT-RS is envisioned as a reusable hypersonic craft that blends intelligence gathering with strike capabilities. To aviation enthusiasts, this represents a bold departure. Instead of hiding in radar shadows, this aircraft would embrace sheer velocity, soaring past Mach-5, the threshold of hypersonic flight. That kind of speed could slice the famous SR-71's Los Angeles to Washington record into pieces, completing the same journey in roughly 40 minutes. For the military, this speed does more than impress. It offers the possibility of delivering weapons or reconnaissance anywhere in the world before an adversary has time to react. The project is planned to follow directly behind the Air Force's next-generation air dominance fighter, the highly secretive program set to produce the first true sixth-generation jet. With NGAD expected to arrive sometime in the 2030s, the timeline for NEXT-RS points further into the 2040s. A flying prototype by the end of the next decade is the goal, and the Pentagon's attention already hints that this vision will become more than speculation. Yet speed comes with its own trade-offs. Hypersonic bombers do not blend into radar like the B-1, the B-2, or the soon-to-arrive B-21 Raider. Instead, they slice through the air in designs optimized for efficiency and durability, built to withstand the hellish temperatures generated by skin-searing friction. Such an aircraft would blaze across infrared sensors, lighting up the skies with a heat signature impossible to hide. It would be a phantom of speed, not stealth. This raises difficult questions. Can such a craft survive against modern defenses like Russia's S-400 missile system, whose interceptors boast speeds beyond Mach 10? DARPA's answer may lie in how NEXT-RS carries its weapons. Rather than swooping directly over enemy territory to drop bombs, it could unleash hypersonic missiles from beyond the 250-mile reach of those defenses. Another possibility, whispered by those who follow these developments, is that the aircraft might push past Mach-5, perhaps even approaching Mach-12, a velocity so blistering that interception becomes nearly impossible. At 100,000 feet, a machine that fast would challenge even the sharpest missile to catch it. The gamble is clear. The Air Force once placed all its chips on stealth, limiting even the B-21 fleet to little more than 100 aircraft, expecting something new to follow. That something is almost certainly NEXT-RS. If it flies, it will mark a return to the philosophy of speed as survival, carrying forward the Blackbird's torch into a new century of aerial dominance. Yet America is not racing alone. Across oceans, other powers are chasing the same dream, pouring resources into their own versions of hypersonic bombers. The most pressing rival is China, which has already revealed glimpses of its hypersonic ambitions through missile tests and experimental aircraft. The competition is not simply about building faster machines. It is about reshaping the balance of power in the 21st century. Whoever wins the race to field the first operational hypersonic bomber will hold an edge that could define military strategy for decades. But there is a shadow hanging over this American project: the constant tug-of-war between ambition and budget. President Donald Trump once pressed for defense spending cuts, a move that, if fully realized, could weaken the momentum behind NEXT-RS. History has shown that programs of this scale are fragile, often derailed not by engineering, but by politics. The fear among defense experts is that any delay could give rivals the window they need to surge ahead. Still, the consensus is that America will eventually bring Next RS into reality. The United States has the experience, the industrial base, and the proven track record of pushing aviation to its extremes. The only uncertainty lies in timing. Will the prototype take to the skies soon enough to outpace global challengers? Or will delays allow China to announce the world's first hypersonic bomber, rewriting the strategic map before America can respond? Thanks for watching. Before you go, click the link on your screen to check out another video. See you there.